On the Beijing Road in Lhasa, there was a clothing store called Yishong. At 3 p.m. on March the 14th, chaos broke out on the street where the shop was situated. An employee called Zhoma and her 5 colleagues were besieged in the store. They fled to a small room on the 2nd floor. Zhoma hid under the bed, and she heard riders outside breaking open the gate. She didn't know who they were, nor how many people. She just recalled them breaking into the store and smashing everything.
Before the riots, there was a glass door nearby. It was destroyed in the chaos. We were just crying. Everyone was shaking and couldn't speak.
By around 5 p.m., she sensed their calm had returned outside, so she quickly told her friends to escape. Zhoma ran out of the store, finding a place to hide. But seeing the store on fire, she knew her friends in the store were unable to escape. The 5 young girls, 24-year-old Yang Dongmei, 22-year-old Liu Yan, 21-year-old Ciren Zhuoga, 19-year-old Han Xingxing, and 18-year-old Chen Jia were burned to death. Tang Qingyan, the owner of the store, was the first witness to arrive. He saw an extremely cruel scene.
I was the first one to get here, and I was crying. I thought there were still some people alive, so I searched everywhere. And then I saw my sister. She was here, facing the wall.
Losing her dear friends after being with them only hours ago, Zhuoma says it is nearly unbearable to face up to the brutality and cruelty.
I never thought about it. We were happy together that morning, but it suddenly changed a few hours later. I can't believe it. I want to ask the rioters why they did it. I really can't understand why the rioters killed innocent civilians.
One of the victims, Ciren Zhuoga, came from Chikaze. Ciren's aunt and brother rushed all the way to Lhasa.
We lost a girl who is so good.
She was the smartest girl we have. It's extremely tragic.
These 5 young girls were killed in the tragic fire. Many Lhasa residents are mourning the death of the 5 workers in the clothing store. Many mourners are strangers of the innocent victims. Many innocent civilians were targeted by rioters in their criminal activities on March the 14th. Ma Ying-she was seriously wounded. She has been lying here in the ward of Lhasa's No. 2 People's Hospital for a week. The 36-year-old is a restaurant owner. 15 days after her restaurant opened for business, unexpected catastrophe befell.
A group of 20 or 30 people stormed into my restaurant. They were holding thick sticks and daggers and smashed the restaurant with stones. We hid on the 2nd floor. After they smashed up the 1st floor, 7 or 8 people swarmed upstairs and pushed me out of the window of the 2nd floor.
Ma Ying-she was pushed out of a 2nd floor window by the rioters. Her backbone was severely injured. Doctors say she has to stay in bed for at least half a year and may end up paralyzed. Her business and a loan of tens of thousands yuan went up in flames, set alight by mobs.
My kids cannot go to school. My family is now poor. I have to repay my loan, but now I can't.
The 33-year-old man was attacked by rioters without any reason.
I didn't feel right and tried to avoid them, but a woman saw me and told the man. The man came right up to me and slashed me.
The artery in his neck was exposed and he was on the verge of death when he was hospitalized.
Our society is so good nowadays. Such an incident should never have happened. Innocent people were harmed and cars were burned. We hope the government severely punishes those mobs.
During the riots, lawless people smashed into a number of primary and middle schools. Rioters set fire and burned a building of the Lhasa No. 2 middle school.
At 12:30 on March the 14th, beating, smashing, and looting occurred at the Ramesh temple opposite to our school. The lawless people did not stop their violence. They set fire to the residential building of our school. The fire spread to 2 classroom buildings.
At this critical moment, school teachers quickly pulled together. Students in class were evacuated to the playground. The ferocious flames caused a lot of panic among the students.
Fire spread to our classroom. I felt much heat around me. I wanted to save class bags and stationeries for all my classmates, but the fire was coming close. The whole building was on fire. Roofs were destroyed.
The 2 classroom buildings, which occupied a total area of 1,660 square meters, have been reduced to ruins. Luckily, all 839 students escaped the fire.
Our students and teachers had to witness our school being attacked. They are very angry.
In Chengguan district, the mobsters started attacking a primary school after riding along the road.
They struck the school gate and threw stones.
The school decided to close all the gates immediately and keep the students inside. The rioters tried several times to break in, and twice they were very close to breaking in.
Many people told the rioters that this was a school, but they said they wouldn't leave a school alone.
The school's quick response to the incident saved itself, and the students there were not hurt. The local police acted quickly, trying to prevent the situation from deteriorating. They exercised maximum restraint in the face of the rioters, and they were always on the defensive. This injured police officer, Liu Dingwei, is now in hospital. He had just become a policeman in Tibet last December. But the young police officer was severely hurt trying to put a stop to the riots. This March the 13th was Liu's 19th birthday. But on March the 14th, the riots broke out near Ramesh Temple in Lhasa. Many young police officers, such as Liu, responded to the call for help to restore calm to the area and stop the rioters. But Liu and his fellow policemen held their ground. Despite being pelted by rocks and suffering injuries, they tried to deal with the hostile mob.
Our orders are, we should never fight back even if we are attacked. We should stay calm even if we are spat on the face.
The armed police officers exercised maximum restraint, but the mobsters showed no mercy. Liu's head was seriously wounded in a barrage of stones. He almost fainted.
I was hit on the head. I was already half conscious by then, and someone chopped me.
The squad leader rescued half-conscious Liu Dingwei from the hands of the mobsters and escorted him to the hospital. Medical examination showed that Liu Dingwei's hip is seriously wounded. The cuts were so deep that his bones were exposed and the muscles were also parted. His head was scratched. The 19-year-old has not told his parents and grandfather that he was injured and hospitalized. And his love for Lhasa remains unchanged, despite the experience in the riots on March the 14th.
I like Lhasa and Tibetan people. On March the 14th, I saw Tibetan compatriots rescue our armed police officers.